Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of Zyuohger episode 47, the penultimate episode, and it was a pretty solid-ish penultimate episode. Honestly, there wasn't anything really amazing about it. Basically, we, for the most part, resolved the bit with Yamato and his dad, and I was actually thinking about that in this episode, how, I remember last week I mentioned how that storyline kind of simultaneously could have been better for me, but also was a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. But in this episode, I couldn't help but thinking, I wish they would have done this earlier. I felt like there should have not only been more build-up to this particular character story, but I think it should have been touched on earlier, or maybe even achieved earlier, just because in this episode, everything's kind of going down, like, you know, the final fight stuff, and a city's being attacked, and Yamato's sitting here wasting time, being kind of petty, honestly, at his dad, because he's mad at his dad for saving someone's life, while, instead of going to see his mom. But anyway, like, he's just wasting time. And then his dad's like, don't go fight. And I'm like, this is such a waste of time. Like, especially since Zyuohger, speaking of wasting time, wasted so much time, like, probably, like, 4/5 of the series, that's a weird fraction, but was, like, nothing. And, like, they could have easily taken out, like, 3 or 4 filler episodes that had no value and done this neat story arc with his dad. Neat in quotation marks, and then maybe brought it back around at the end so it didn't seem so sudden, and also it didn't seem like it was eating so much finale time up. I feel like if this had seemed like a main story point, then it would make sense for it to be eating up finale arc time. I don't know, it was just kind of weird. It's not like the worst thing, but it was just kind of something I was thinking of. I also found it equally funny that Yamato's dad was like, don't fight, it's too dangerous, and then like within a scene of that, you had Larry telling Bard not to fight because it's too dangerous, because we found out he was taking power from the earth to become a Zyuohger, which I guess that kind of makes sense. It just seems like you should still be able to do it, just really weak. I thought that was the point of his suit looking really crappy. I don't know. But anyway, so there was that, and then there was a bit of a dilemma or a decision of Larry and Bard came up with this plan to basically use the link cube to send all the Jumans back, except for Bard, who doesn't really want to go back, and then essentially put Earth in a pocket dimension the way Juland was originally created and save them from the attack. And then they decided, no, we don't want to do it because friendship and connections and toku nonsense. And I was kind of split on that. On one sense, I hate stupid logic like that. It's always like some sort of, you know, hollow declaration of friendship. Is like the reasoning behind doing something. Because on one hand, it's coming off like, we're friends, so we want to risk people's lives instead of saving everyone immediately. But on the other hand, if they don't eliminate Genus, then there's no guarantee that he wouldn't find a way to attack them or attack others. So I think they made the right decision. It was just kind of, ooh, there's stuff happening outside, filled with some toku nonsense. But that brings me to another point, which I'll probably touch on again in the finale, in the series wrap I do, of I'm kind of disappointed. I don't even know if I mentioned this earlier on this video series, but that the origins of the Juman world were that it was originally Earth and then they split it and it was like Halloween Town. I don't know, there's something about that kind of took away what I found kind of cool about Zyuohger's mythology when it started, of it being kind of this alternate dimension with humanoid animals, and I don't know. I'll see how it goes next episode. I'm pretty much banking on a predictable, they merged the worlds like they did at the end of the last Halloween Town movie. This series is a rip-off of Halloween Town, but I'll, like, maybe if there's anything clarified there, and I'll kind of give my thoughts, but that's just something I wanted to mention while I was thinking of that. So anyway, they decided we're going to stay and fight, and then they went to go fight, and Naria was blocking them. There was actually a really funny part where, like, they did the classic, oh, Naria's there, and then they morph, and then they look like they're about to charge at each other. I'm sorry if you can hear noises, I have no idea what the heck's happening, and I'm already in this video. So, anyway, and then, like, you'd think, oh, they're gonna charge at each other, and then they just instantly go to the mecha, and Naria's like, what the hell? And I thought that was really funny. And she got taken out, and they wound up using the cord that Genus put in the earth to put his DNA in it, to pull the ship down, and then it blew up, and they're like, yay, we got him, and then Genus is like, lol, no. So he's doing something for the third whole time in the series, and next week will be like, you know, final battle, and I'm predicting a pretty cliche finale. You know, finish Genus, some toku nonsense, hollow sayings about friendship, the worlds merge, stuff like that. But the penultimate episode was just honestly decent. I didn't really hate it. I didn't really out of my seat loved it. I don't think it was as good as last week's, but we'll see what the finale is going to hold. Overall, I'd probably give the episode 6. Yeah, that seems about right. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, make sure the Crazy Podcast at writersrangersrambles.com, and of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, Dawson Rider, signing out.